All right, John, this is Coach Tony with Foothill Hitting Academy. Just want to walk Ethan through a couple more things that I want to continue to focus on. So the last video analysis that I did focused pretty extensively on using the lower half and focusing on ensuring that the feet were aligned as he launched his swing. In this session, what I'll talk about is the hands a little bit more in depth, and as well as the load in terms of the role of the hands in the load. So what I've done is I've preloaded two clips here, one of Ethan and one of Martin Prado with the Atlanta Braves. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Ethan through the beginning of his swing. So as I transition Ethan here, you'll notice that his step starts to take place here. We talked about the feet last time, so I'm going to leave that as a given. But one of the moves that I see here is this negative move. As Ethan begins to step, you'll see those hands start to go back. And that's not so bad as much as ensuring that the back elbow knows where it needs to wind up at. Okay, so this back elbow there, as well as the bat not wrapping around his head too much. I want it to be more at this angle here as he loads his hands back. And the third component is ensuring that the shoulders do not overcoil. So you'll notice here as he starts to take his hands back that the shoulders coil a little bit too much here in this angle. So you see the shoulders are kind of cutting across already. And what that does is it puts a lot of pressure on the ability of the eyes to stay focused out in front of the plate. And as a result, what you'll see is the ball will get way too deep on him as he makes contact, probably way back here because he's losing track of the ball. Okay? Clear everything out, and we'll walk through the swing here now. As his hands go back, his shoulders go back with him a little bit too much. His bat is wrapped around his head. And there's issues with the hands dropping, which I can get to in just a minute, but the primary issue is those shoulders overcoiling in the pre-swing movement or in the load. And as he continues to rotate to the ball, now he's had to turn his head all the way back, and suddenly the ball's on top of him. Okay? So what I want to do is focus in on Martin Prado's hand load as he gets in here. Kind of see the differences between the two. I'll try to sync them up. So we're trying to capture the same moment here. So here we go. Hand starts to load, and you'll see Martin Prado's hands go kind of just straight back as he's in his load. And take a look at the shoulder line. Pretty straight out ahead. Okay. As he drops in, there it is. The hands are still back. Remember I talked about the bat angle here, Martin Prado's bat angle here. Take a look at Ethan's bat angle back here. What that's going to cause him to do is drop his hands and come around the ball. So next move here, that's the two position that we talked about. You see in Martin Prado's case, his two position from his 1 to 2 is almost seamless. As he drops that front heel, the back heel comes up almost instantaneously. Okay? See, in Ethan's case, there's a little bit of a lag of getting that right heel up, and the hands are dropping at the same time. So we want to focus on making sure when he transitions that front foot down, what I want him to focus on is to ensure that that barrel's staying up, point that knob down at the ground, keep the hands back, and keep the shoulders in a straight line. Don't let the shoulders overturn, okay? So that's what I want him to focus on, and continue to use the lower half to transition. So in the meantime, the main thing I want you to focus on is just keeping that barrel up, keep the shoulder line on line, and making sure that that right elbow is not pulling under prematurely, because we want to make sure that the right elbow slots into the body as Martin Prado's right elbow does, right there. Okay? See the difference? You have Ethan's elbow that's pulling under a little bit. You have Martin Prado's elbow over here that is slotted on his body. Two primary differences. So I will leave you to work with that just a little bit more, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks.